Just before this video starts, the matriarchal meerkat for today is Harry Hocking, who said, "One thing that really annoys me is how in school I listen to people talk about football, etc. But the moment I mention Formula 1, no one gives a flying crap." I couldn't agree more. Harry, that's why you come to this channel and you have a bit of fun. If you'd like to be the matriarchal meerkat for next week, drop a comment on this video and I could pick yours. But without further ado, enjoy the vid. Good afternoon and good evening. My name is Sir Meerkat and welcome back to the Moto Meerkat channel. So I've never actually mentioned it before on this channel, but one of the things that I enjoy most outside of motor racing is riding roller coasters. The thrill of the drops, the spins, everything. It just gives that adrenaline rush that I enjoy so much. But imagine if both of those passions were morphed into one beast. Well, this is exactly what happened in Nürburgring and what they attempted to do in 2009 with their creatively named Nürburgring 2009 project. And the entire scheme would go as well as the boardroom meeting to decide that name of the project, absolutely shockingly. The project was announced in 2004 with a plan to completely reinvent the circuit into a proper resort destination. The owners wanted to open a new hotel, restaurants, an entertainment venue for events such as concerts, and a nightclub. Imagine you come out of a nightclub absolutely ruined and in front of you is the Nürburgring pit straight. How weird would that be? I'm not sure what the German nightlife is like, but I know in Britain some drunk bastard would jump over the fence and just start running down the pit straight like it was a Formula 1 car. In addition to these, a huge 15,000 square meter amusement centre called Ringwerk was also planned. The building would be the main hub of the resort complex, containing a car museum, simulators, a 4D cinema, and would have the main attraction running straight through it, the Ring Racer roller coaster. The coaster was planned to break the world record at the time to become the fastest roller coaster in the world, accelerating from 0 to 135 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds using a compressed air launch system. To put that into perspective, a Formula 1 car accelerates from 0 to 62 miles an hour in the same period. So it's twice as fast as a Formula 1 car. That is unbelievable. On August 15th, 2009, Nürburgring's new complex was open to the public, finally allowing guests to roam the new buildings and attractions. But Ring Racer would not open alongside it. There were continuing technical difficulties on the roller coaster, and Nürburgring's management wanted to open it with its world record speed in place. And while maintenance crews worked around the clock in an attempt to fix the ride's teething problems, preview runs were still able to take place. However, they were capped at a maximum speed of 87 miles an hour. To drum up more publicity for the ride, Michael Schumacher was one of the lucky few to get a seat on one of the test runs while the circuit was hosting the German Grand Prix that year. And I mean, just looking from these photos, he doesn't look like he's having a great time. He probably still thought it was a little bit slow, and in the chase for this necessary top speed to make the elusive world record, disaster struck. On September 3rd, 2009, the maintenance crews on Ring Racer decided that it was finally time to attempt an 135 mile per hour launch. The ride car was sat at the launch area as compressed air began to build up pressure. The ride was almost ready to go, and bang! No, I really mean bang! The launch system suddenly exploded, sending metal parts flying in all directions. The blast was so severe that it completely destroyed the launch area of the ride, shattered glass in buildings 150 feet away, and injured 7 members of staff, causing permanent partial hearing loss. Not only was the accident tragic, the shady Nürburgring officials decided to make the whole situation worse. They sent out a press release detailing what had happened, claiming that no one was harmed in the incident, in an attempt to not bring any negative attention to the already dying ride. Nürburgring officials did not call in the ambulances. Staff were instead taken to the hospital in construction buses, and it would take a week for the information confirming the injuries caused by the accident to be released. This is why you should never lie, kiddies. You always get found out. And these injuries, they would all be for nothing, as on 4th of November 2010, Formula Rossa opened at Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi with a top speed of 149 miles an hour, 14 miles an hour faster than what Ring Racer was hoping to achieve, and thus taking the world record for itself. Now, I've actually ridden Formula Rossa myself, and I can tell you, it's pretty bloody quick, but I still rode it 3 times in a row, because I'm a bloody legend. Once the damaged sections of Ring Racer had been rebuilt, Nürburgring officials decided to limit the ride to 99.4 miles an hour top speed to keep the air pressure at a more manageable level to avoid any further PR nightmares. And on October the 31st, 2013, Ring Racer was finally opened to the public. Ooh, Subway. But after only 4 days of operation, the ride would again close. Why? Well, it was because, did the ride derail, killing all the passengers? No, it was actually, did a piece of coaster fall off and crush a newborn child? No, that was oddly specific. The ride actually closed because it was the end of the operating season. Temperatures can get extremely low, with snow and ice common in Nürburgring, and the ride would not be safe to run again until the new season started in 2014, but that reopening day would never come. The shady Nürburgring officials were publicly outed as such very soon after, as it was originally promised no public money would be used to create the complex, but after officials failed to acquire a major investor, a large sum of taxpayer money was eventually used. State Finance Minister Ingolf Jubel was accused of misleading Parliament about the use of taxpayer money. He ended up resigning from his position in Parliament, and he was jailed for 3.5 years because of embezzlement that he committed. But even this public money couldn't save the track, and thanks to rising debts and years of net losses, Nürburgring declared themselves bankrupt. And with a report from a German newspaper, Rhein Zeitung, I hope I pronounced that correctly, that revealed that the operating company had debts of 413 million euros. It looked like it could be the end of the line, not only for the Ring Racer, but the track itself. Thankfully, however, a buyer was soon found. German auto company Capricorn purchased the resort for 100 million euros. But this was bad news for Ring Racer, as even though the ride was operational and ready to reopen in 2014, Capricorn claimed it was not financially viable to do so, and they planned to dismantle the ride in hopes of selling it to another park. But the ride was so full of difficulties and generally just quite a boring layout, none of the top German parks wanted to buy the coaster, so instead it was left standing but not operating. A few months later, a man called Viktor Kadetonin, Russian pharmaceutical billionaire, bought a 99% stake in Nürburgring. Mirko Mark Fort was named the CEO of the resort in 2016, and he stated that although reopening Ring Racer is not a #1 priority, tearing it down is a last resort. And obviously that quote was from 2016. We're now in 2020 and the ride continues to sit there alongside the start-finish straight, initially planned to bring glamour and adds a wow factor to the circuit. It now simply acts as an eyesore and just a reminder of what could have been for the German motorsport park. So in the end, the original management spent 12.3 million euros on a roller coaster that injured 7 people and officially operated for only 4 days. Pretty good investment, I'd say. And as we're finally revisiting the circuit this year with the F1 Circus, be sure to look out for it on the TV coverage. It's very, very difficult to miss. But that is all for another history video on the Moto Meerkat channel. I've been wanting to cover this interesting story for a while now, and I hope you really enjoyed the ride. But genuinely, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like on it down below. I do really appreciate it. And subscribe to the Moto Meerkat channel, as well as I make motorsport content that you're not going to want to miss. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you meerkats later. Goodbye, guys.